Thank you. Thank you, Elise. Hello and welcome to our 2024 Chinese New Year, which is the Year of the Dragon. Very exciting. Now, we've got a bit of a treat for you tonight. We're making 6 fabulous dishes, and I am here with my beautiful team, the Marvels. We've got Erin Jones. Give us a wave, Erin.
Hello.
Thank you. We've got Lexi Pittman.
Hi.
And we've got Carolyn Sewell.
Hi.
And we are extra special lucky tonight because my beautiful business development manager, Elise Mackey, is joining us as well. So you are going to get to watch a chef make the dumplings.
Oh, now you put the pressure on me, Tess.
I know. I know. So without further ado, I just want to thank you all for giving up time on your Monday night to join us and get into the flavour of travelling the world and seeing what we can do with our Thermomix in the Chinese cuisine. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Erin because she's got the dish that takes the longest and we need to get that started.
We do indeed. So I'm making the braised pork belly. So I actually won't finish this before the end of tonight. So I'm going to get through this really quickly at the start. So basically, first of all, we're putting in ginger. So 3 centimeters of fresh ginger, which I've already peeled and cut ready, and popping it straight in. Next, our lid is on, and 3 seconds we're going to chop it. And one thing I absolutely love about this is it helps me chop things that I absolutely hate doing, like ginger. I could not do that myself, even if I tried.
How many seconds was that?
3. 3 seconds. It's really amazing. Okay, so moving on, we have our pork belly, which I've already cut up, ready to go. I made this for dinner tonight for my family, and my 5-year-old loved it.
Awesome.
So then we have rock salt. So I bought this today from just a Chinese and Asian grocery and broke it up into just little pieces in a plastic bag with just a rolling pin. Now there's 2 different types of soy sauce in this one. We have a light soy sauce, so 25 grams of light soy sauce. And then we have a dark soy sauce, which is the next one, which is just 5 grams of the dark soy sauce. Then we have the Chinese cooking wine. Now, normally my household is gluten-free, so I normally wouldn't use this because this does contain wheat. I would normally replace it with like a cooking sherry, which is gluten-free. So we've just got 60 grams of this.
Can I just pause you for a second, Erin? Sorry,
Nicole,
you've raised your hand. Do you want to say something? You need to come off mute.
Yeah, you said rock salt. Did you mean sugar?
Oh, rock sugar. I did mean sugar. You see how you're saying rock salt? Rock sugar was just,
some salt.
No, it is rock sugar. You are correct. Thank you so much for that.
Nicole is awake.
Yes, she is. Obviously more than me as I'm cooking it and saying the wrong thing.
That was just our test to see who was listening, right?
Yes, and Nicole, you passed.
And then our last ingredient is water. So it's 50 to 80 grams of water. You don't have to add too much as you're going to have moisture coming out of the meat anyway. I'm just going to add 70. I was so prepared and I forgot my simmering bucket. Let me just grab that, sorry. Put that on top. And that is it. I'm now here for 45 minutes. So mine cooks the longest, but it's the quickest to prepare.
Fantastic. So you just pour yourself a glass of wine or make yourself a cup of tea and let the Thermomix do all the cooking for you. And we'll see you a bit later on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. That's fantastic. Now, I also need to mention to you that we are recording the class tonight and I will endeavour to email all of you as soon as I can in the next couple of days, and you will get a recording of this class if you wanted to see any of it again. And you will also be sent the recipe links to Cookie Do for all of the recipes, as well as any future upcoming classes that we have. So,
What time is this tomorrow? Oh, you'll see that he's doing here later.
can I just ask that
Okay.
if you're not talking, you could mute yourself? That would be fantastic. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to pass over to the lovely Elise now, and she's going to get started on her dumplings.
Hello, I am. So I am going to have two screens going for you guys, just to, you know, make it really confusing maybe. Hopefully the idea is that it will make it a little bit easier. So my name is Elise. I have been with Thermomix for just on 9 years now, or just over. And yeah, Tess did mention that I'm a chef. Very past life there, but in that past life, I did have the opportunity to work with some amazing people and learn some amazing skills, which I've been able to transfer into Thermomix, and really look at how the Thermomix can help both the traditional home cook and then from a commercial environment as well. So Tess, if I'm able to get you to please replace this spotlight with the close-up one that I have on my other one, that would be amazing. Because I am going to take you guys through some dumplings. So these, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it in Chinese because I will absolutely butcher it, and that will be incredibly disrespectful. So I'm not going to do that, but I am going to show you where you can find this recipe. So we are using Cookie Do for this. Cookie Do is one of my absolute favorite things. I love being able to come in, find the recipes that I need. And, you know, today Tess said to me, I need you to make dumplings. I went, yep, cool. Typed in dumplings, but which one is it? This one, great. So what I've done is I've saved that in my week. So if you're not already using Cookie Do, make sure you get onto it. And we actually now have it available as a host reward too. So if you have lapsed with your subscription or you've never used it before, definitely check that out, because that is now in my weekly planner ready to go. So I'm just going to go with our close up now. So this is the recipe we're using, the Chinese dumplings. And of course, if we scroll down, it's going to give us all of our different ingredients, our prep steps, everything is here for you. So something I always like to do is check out the, a bit loud there, is check out the tips. So these dumplings are typically served with a dipping sauce. So it's going to give you a couple of different ideas on what you can do, different ways that you can cook them. So I'm going to go through those with you tonight. But what we're going to get started with is coming out a little bit, and we're going to go in with 200 grams of Chinese wombok. So I've just got that really largely diced. You know, I haven't gone through and done anything overly fancy because the Thermomix is going to do all of that work for me. So our cabbage has gone in. We've also got about 40 grams of celery, and we've got some spring onions as well. So they're all going in there, along with a teaspoon and a half of salt. So the salt is actually going to help draw out all of that moisture that is in the cabbage and the celery, because there is quite a bit. And if we don't add the salt in, what's going to happen is we're going to end up with really, really mushy and wet dumplings. So we're going to chop this for 10 seconds on speed 5. And I'm just going to take it straight up. And of course, the TM6 is going to stop that where it needs to be.
Fantastic. Did you want to pop in the chat room what you had for dinner? Because we always love inspiration from our customers as to what you've had for dinner, because then we end up putting it on our weekly plans for the coming weeks.
This is what I do at all of our meetings. It's just trying to find out, okay, what's everyone got? Okay, so that is our cabbage, our celery, and our spring onion. And as you can see, that has been absolutely pulverized, which is what we want. We don't want big chunks of it. We want it nice and fine. So I'm just going to move you across here a little bit, because what I'm now going to do is I'm going to transfer this mix into the simmering basket, and it's basically just going to sit for a couple of minutes while that salt starts to drain all of that liquid out. So I want to get as much out of that as possible, and I'll let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then I'm basically just going to press into the mixture to get all of that liquid out. So if I do it really quickly now, you can see just how much is coming out. Now, if I didn't do this step, you're going to end up with really, really soggy, wet dumplings. All right, so we're going to let that sit for a couple of minutes while we move on to the next step. Tess, did you want me to go straight on to the next step?
It's up to you.
Right,
Oh,
you go.
yum, Nicole. Barramundi and salad. Yum.
Happy to go over to you if you need me to.
No, you're right. Which step are you
You're
up
good to
to?
go?
Yep.
The pork and things.
Yes, go for it.
Yes?
Yep.
I may not have read my run sheet very well. All right. So I'm going to move this out of the way and we're going to continue on with the rest of this recipe. So I have got 500 grams of pork mince. Now, the recipe asked for 250. Guess what? I'm not very good at following recipes. So when you see me following a recipe to an absolute T, it is either because it's for baking or I'm bread making. That's it. Otherwise, I mix it up. So I am going to double this, and it may just mean that I need a little bit of extra time. And at the end of the day, my mince came in a packet of 500 grams. So that's just what I'm going to use. I am also going to add into this, just for a little bit of extra flavor. It's not in the recipe, but I'm going to go in with some garlic and some ginger paste. So that's just some that I have pre-made. We've got a teaspoon of sesame oil. And again, you will notice that I'm not much of an actual measurer. I very much wing it. A teaspoon of oil. A tablespoon of oyster sauce. Some white sugar, and I've got some black pepper as well. So that's all going in. And our light soy. So I do recommend light soy in this. I find if I use the dark soy, it's a little bit too heavy. So I do definitely prefer the light soy with this recipe.
Good tip.
Pepper's already in, and some Shaoxing cooking wine. So you can get this from the Asian section of your supermarket. You can get a Woolies, Coles. You don't need a specific Asian grocer for this one. And we're going in with about 2 teaspoons as well. And then we're going to knead that. Yes, you heard me. We are going to knead the mince. So whenever you are doing, we're going to put it on for about 10 seconds on speed 3, just mix it, and then we're going to knead it up. So that's then going to help, once I add the cabbage and everything back in, it's going to help combine everything. So what I might do, Tess, is if you want to go into the next one, and then when that cabbage is finished soaking, then I'll...
Yep, you can just interrupt. All right, fantastic. Yep. So that is Kaz. Carolyn, are you up? And Carolyn is going to show us how to emulsify and make the Sriracha and sesame mayonnaise for the prawn toast. You need to unmute.
Put my camera on. There's lots of things to remember. Okay,
I know.
So hi everyone. Hope everyone's having a great night and a little bit cooler than what we are here in Melbourne. So tonight, as Tess said, I'm going to do the Sriracha and sesame mayonnaise. I have to say this is absolutely delicious and one that I think goes with loads of stuff. So I'm a little bit ahead, and I've already got my jug on. So I'm just going to put in sesame oil, 30 grams. I love the smell of sesame oil. And I think there's nothing nicer than doing Asian cooking with a bit of sesame oil. So 30 grams of that. And then we're going to add in the vegetable oil. So always, I do find that I always stand a little bit higher with the bigger bottles just so that you've got a little bit more control, because I'm a bit like Elise. I don't like to measure very well, but I always end up with a little bit more if I'm not careful. 175 grams. Close and close enough. I'll put that there and see if I can not knock it off the kitchen bench. All right, so I'm just going to pop that over here for now. And then I'm going to pop in my butterfly whisk, which is our little handy attachment for all sorts of anything that really that you want to whip, creams or anything like that. 1 egg yolk. Done. Perfect. Whoops, did I go? Teaspoon of Dijon. Again, just going to put in a quick dollop, because it won't matter if there's a little bit more. One thing with the Sriracha, I was a bit concerned when I first made this because it can be quite a hot sauce, and I have a husband who doesn't particularly like super hot food, but I did find that this one actually, with all the other bits and pieces, it actually has really quite a pleasant, quite mild taste. So you could certainly, if you wanted to tone it down, if you've got young kids or people that are sensitive to hot foods, you could certainly tone it down. There you go. But it's delicious, and I reckon that you could put it with, like, I reckon crumb chicken. There'd be loads of other things other than what we're doing here tonight, but it would go really well with.
Is anyone else having trouble with the sound? It sounds perfect. I can hear you clearly, Carolyn, but someone has said that it's not clear for them.
Oh,
Is
okay.
anyone else having trouble with the sound?
It's clear for me as well, Tess.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Okay.
That's my pinch of salt.
Sorry,
Okay.
Susan.
Rightio. So I'm just going to pop my lid on, and I'm going to click next. So what I'm going to do now is emulsify. This is how I do all of my mayonnaises, tartare sauces and everything. So we're actually going to just pour the oil mixture through the top of the lid whilst it is whipping, I guess. And if we just really slowly, and it's just drizzling down into the jug and emulsifying into a beautiful mayonnaise, or, as I said, in this particular instance, this salt. But so easy, and yeah, really, really tasty. So just really slow. First time I did this, I thought it was really weird, but now I just do it without even thinking.
Okay, you just went a bit fairy then. Not sure why. I'll tell you a little tip, Carolyn. You can actually pour it all into the lid, and because of the position of the measuring cup in the lid, it will pour in at the right time. I learned that tip from Catherine Day.
Joel, I do remember you telling me that last time I made mayonnaise. Do you think I could remember what your tip was? But there you go. I have. So that's just slowly going in, and we still have 4 minutes to go.
I just had a message in the chat. One of our consultants has got a customer who's allergic to oyster sauce and sesame oils. So, Elise, what would you suggest?
Okay, so sesame oil is going to be a pretty hard flavour to replace. Because it really does have that kind of nuttiness to it. So it depends on if they can have other type of nut oil. So if it's just sesame that they can't have, or if they could maybe have something like macadamia oil, you might get a little bit of, So if it's no nuts, you better pretty much just to omit it completely. With the oyster sauce, you could do, what am I thinking? Had a mental blank there. I would probably just replace it with something like a little bit of extra soy. It's really got that kind of saltiness to it. So yeah, a vegetarian oyster sauce if there is.
Yeah. And the other thing is too, I found Google my best friend when I need to substitute recipes. I just actually type into Google what is a great substitute for oyster sauce, and all these, it works a treat.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I'm always Googling to substitute.
Yeah.
Particularly herbs and stuff. If I don't have a herb in the garden, I try and find one that I do.
Yeah, that's close in flavour. Yeah, fantastic. All right, so you're up to your 5 minutes of emulsification.
Yep.
Beautiful. Elise, how are you positioned? Shall we move on to the next person?
I am ready if you want me back, or if you want next one.
Actually, we might go on to Lexi and get the fried rice started, and then we'll come back to you.
Easy done.
Fantastic. Lexi.
Hello everyone. I'm making some fried rice tonight. This is a bit of a different style fried rice, so not your typical kind of peas and corn and bacon or ham. So if it's not for you, make sure you have a look on Cookie Do, because there's hundreds and thousands, or there's thousands and thousands of recipes, so you'll be able to find something that suits you. But I've just quickly popped in some brown onion in place of the shallots, because I had some brown onions that were about to go bad and I don't like to waste. Some salt and some chili. The recipe also calls for dried anchovies. I'm not a fan of anchovies and I want to be able to eat this, so I've left them out. But if you do like them, then obviously go ahead and pop them in and they'll add some nice flavour. I'll probably put a little bit of fish sauce in mine through the end for that saltiness. So I'm just going to quickly blitz them up.
So you're
Tiny bit
chopping?
they're done. I'll show. I think Erin showed before how quickly everything gets chopped up. But if you're like me and hate chopping onions, then this is amazing.
No tears.
No tears. And I certainly cry when I chop my onions. Even spring onions make me tear up a little bit. So just scrape down the sides, and I'm going to pop in my cooking oil. So I'm going to use peanut oil because it seems to be used in quite a lot of Chinese cooking. So I'm just going to pour in my 70 grams. The scales are
Just
so
like
accurate within the 1 gram. So whoops, I've gone a little bit over. I usually do. And I'm going to pop my lid on and just let that cook. So I'm going to pop the simmering basket on top just for safety. And that's me done for the next 6 minutes while it cooks.
Fantastic. I've just seen the comments in the chat. So Zoom automatically cuts out the sound. If anything in background noise, it gets a bit loud. So once the Thermomix starts up, Zoom will cut out the sound. So we don't have magic Thermomixes that don't make any sound. Sorry,
Yes, we
Nicole.
do. They're specific consultant Thermomixes, Tess. What are you talking about?
Yes, you have to join the team to get one. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Thank you, Lexi. We'll see you in about 6 minutes, and back over to you, Elise, for some dumplings.
All right, let's go back with our dumplings. Now, I always find this really interesting because I drained all of that liquid out, and look how much I've got. Now, this is not a green shot. I'm not that healthy. That is the amount of liquid that came out of that cabbage and celery. So if I didn't do that, can you imagine the sloppy mess that my dumplings would be? So make sure you do not skip that step. Now, what I've done is I have kneaded through that pork. So I've got everything in there. So it had all the seasonings, the garlic, the ginger, and now I'm going to add back in that cabbage mix. So it's amazing how much it drops down when you've done that. So now we're just going to incorporate this into the mixture, and we're going to go for 5 seconds on speed 3. And next thing that we're going to do is actually shake our dumplings. So this is probably the fun part of it. This is the part where you can get the kids involved. I kind of suggest having a bit of a production line going on. But as you can see, that has mixed that up nicely. So because I did double that pork, remember? All right, I'm just going to give it a little bit more of a mix. But that is our mix all done. So my next step is to clean and dry the mixing bowl. Normally you would steam these straight away. I'm going to go through my favorite ways to do these. I'm actually not a massive fan of plain steamed dumplings. So I will show you how I normally do mine. But I'm going to transfer over to my other camera so that you can see a little bit of a close-up. Now, these are the dumpling pastries that I buy. You can get these in the supermarket. You will find them where you find the fresh pasta. So, you know, your ravioli and things, you'll find these in that same section. There are a couple of different brands. This one was the cheapest. That's what I went with. But what I've done is there you go. So I have taken a couple of my dumpling wrappers, and I'm just going to show you a couple of different ways to fold them. Now, the first way is using one of our dumpling molds. You can get this from the mix shop. This is the large one. It is quite massive. Okay, so as you can see, these are really quite small compared to that. So if you are going to be using this, this is great if you are doing a larger dumpling, so potentially making your own dough rather than using the store-bought. But these do have a little bit of stretch to them. So you can kind of stretch them out a little bit, maybe not that much. So, you know, if you are doing these and you want to use the mold, definitely use a larger dumpling wrapper, or you can get smaller molds. There you go. Timo have the electric dumpling maker. I agree. It is rather great.
Or you can make your own dumpling wrappers.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about a teaspoon of this mix, okay? And I think it's really important that you don't overload it. If you overload it, you're going to end up with it going everywhere and it's going to be a mess. So I'm going to take my dumpling wrapper and I'm just going to go around the edges with a little bit of water. Now there is, it's usually cornstarch on these, which was then going to make a little bit of a paste. So a couple of different ways that you can do it. I've probably overloaded this a little bit much. So fold it over and pinch, right? And you can just pinch that all the way down. I've definitely overloaded that one. So note yourself, a little bit less next time. But you go around the whole way and pinch because you want to get any of those air bubbles out and you want to make a really nice tight seal. So you can do it really simple, okay? If you have overfilled it like me, you're going to have to do it really simple. So let's go for a second way, and I'm going to use a little bit less mixture this time. Right. A little bit less. Okay, so the next way I'm going to do is more of a pretty dumpling. So I'm going to continue with folding that over, all right? But what I'm going to do is once I have kind of pressed it down around the sides, again, pushing all of that air out, I'm then going to go with a little bit of the liquid around the top. You don't want too much. And I'm going to basically pleat it. So just folding it over itself and pinching it down, pleating it that way. Now, I am no professional dumpling maker, but ta-da, cute enough. And at the end of the day, once they all steam, they're going to look pretty similar anyway. So I'm going to do that one again and do it a little bit differently this time. So rather than completely sealing it, I'm going to fold it, again, squeezing, but you can also do it from the front. So rather than pinching both sides, you can just pinch the front and squeeze it back. So this one is a little bit more of a, I would say an advanced one. Doesn't quite have the same effect. I'm not very good at this one, so maybe that was not the best example, but you get that. Now, the last one, which I think is probably the easiest, apart from the first one, is the old tortellini kind of shaped one. So pop a little bit of mix on. Okay, again, water around the sides, just on one side, otherwise it's going to become a sticky mess. Squeezing that down. All right, so you get your half moon. Again, you can keep it like that, or hold it gently in your hand, place your finger into the middle, press it, and then you can fold it. And then you squeeze them together like that. So that's where you get those nice, pretty ones. So a couple of different ways that you can do them. It just depends how much time you want to spend doing them. This is, you know, if you are just getting started, stick with the basic, level it up a little bit with the tortellini. And if you want to have a little bit of a play around with the other different types of folds, you absolutely can. So it all works the same whether you're doing the triangle ones, the square dumpling wrappers, or the round. So that is pretty much it for me in terms of the dumplings. What I am going to do is I personally prefer to pan fry and steam, but you can also get these liners from the mix shop. So if you want to do them straight in your varoma, bit of water in there, line all your dumplings up, steam them on your varoma. You can steam them in your simmering basket if you're just doing a couple at a time. But for me, I will be doing them in the pan. So I basically just put a little bit of oil in the pan sear them for a little bit, dash of water in and steam them in the pan with the lid on, and that is them done. So I'm going to have a very happy daughter when she gets home from cheerleading in 15 minutes and has dumplings ready to go for afterwards.
Oh.
So that's it from me.
Fantastic. So we've just had a question, how many pastries do you need? I don't know.
So the recipe says it makes about 30. Again, I've doubled this mix, so quite a lot. You'll get quite a bit, and ironically, these are 30. So you'll find with a lot of the Thermomix recipes that they are designed for what you can buy with this. So yeah, 30 should be good.
Awesome.
I made them the other day and I went through the whole packet. I had a tiny little bit of mixture left. It was pretty perfect for the 30.
There you go.
Yours looked amazing, Lexi. They looked so good.
They were pretty
You had a
good.
Chinese feast on Saturday night, didn't you?
Yep. I got inspired by what we were doing tonight.
Fantastic. All right. Back to Lexi now.
Yep. So you can see it's cooked off my onion and garlic and chili beautifully. There's a little bit of caramelization on the bottom, which is where you get your flavour from. So I've just given a bit of a stir to mix it all in. And now I'm just going to throw in my beans. So I've chopped them on the angle so they look quite pretty. We'll throw them in.
Fantastic. Now, I saw we've got a couple of Catherine Day's customers on tonight. Unfortunately, Kath couldn't join us, but I remember having this dish at her house. We did a workshop there over in Romsey a few months ago now, and she actually used the stems of the kale leaves instead of the beans, and they were absolutely delicious. So don't be afraid to change up your recipes a little bit for what you might have in your fridge at the time, or what you might have in your garden. You know, that's what cooking is all about, cooking with the seasons. So I just sort of share that with you. All right, Lexi, I might, I'm just thinking.
We've got a minute and a half.
Minute and a half. All right, I'm quickly going to just let you all know that we all have an absolute ball being Thermomix consultants. Some of us do it full time, like Elise and I. Others of us fit it in as a side hustle to earn some extra money, like Lexi, Carolyn, and Erin. Erin wears a few hats as well. So, you know, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about earning a little bit of extra money and getting some great mix shop parcels arrive like they did for you, Lexi, have you opened them yet?
Yeah, there's a video on my
no, I've missed
Facebook.
that. I'll have to check the socials after.
Yep.
Just hang on. After the class tonight, Elise is going to do a business information session for anyone who might be interested in just hearing what it is that we do and what's involved in becoming a consultant. No obligation. It will just be as casual as this, just a chat, basically. So stay on after the class tonight if you are interested, and that would be fantastic. All right. Oh, have I spoken for long enough, or I've got to fill in a bit more time?
No, that's okay. I've got 20 seconds, but I've got my rice here that I cooked while I was doing my full-time job today. So I think I've always considered myself a pretty good cook, but one thing I've never been able to cook is rice. Probably the most easy thing to cook, right? But 20 minutes, so you just pop in 350 grams of rice with 1,000 grams of water and let it cook for 20 minutes in a simmering basket. And that's just giving it a bit of a chance to dry out. When you're making fried rice, it's always nice to dry the rice out a little bit so it's not just a soggy mess. So now I'm going to pop in the butterfly whisk. So, I'm a bit uncoordinated. Let me just pick that up. All right. So I've got my whisk that I'm just going to pop in. So the whisk is really great for aerating things, but it's also really great when you're cooking rice dishes. I think it just helps the rice not stick together. So I've popped in my whisk and I'm going to pop in 700 grams of cooked rice. So I've popped it in my thermoserver and then I'll cook the fried rice in here afterwards. So if you don't have a thermoserver, these are fantastic when you're cooking things that you want to eat a bit later.
I would absolutely say that that's probably the #1 host reward. I'm going to show you the host rewards a bit later on, but if you haven't got a thermoserver, you absolutely need one. They keep your food hot or cold for 2 hours, and they are the bee's knees, and the only way to get one is through hosting a demonstration.
All right, and then leave the measuring cup off, let some steam out, and it's going to stir fry that for 2 minutes, and then we're done.
Awesome.
That's me.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Lexi. We'll come back to you when we're looking at presenting.
Yep.
I am now just looking for Carolyn, because we're going to go on to watch you make your prawn toast.
No worries. Okay, so that is my Sriracha sauce that basically finished straight after, so really smooth and all emulsified, so delicious. I'll just pop that in the fridge. Now, I did the prawn mixture a little earlier, so this is I've just done a half serve because obviously there's I've already eaten tonight, and we don't need a load of this. But this has got coriander. If you don't like coriander, it's one of those love or hate things. You can certainly leave it out. If you do like it, you can add extra spring onions from the garden, the prawns, an egg white, and really not much else. And I did actually do these for my husband and I the other day, and they were delicious, I have to say. And that sauce was just a perfect complement to them. So I'm just spreading edge to edge on my bread here. Do that last one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just give them a bit of a crust so they have a little bit of a crunchiness. And I don't know about you guys, but I can remember when I was quite young, many years ago, when I used to go to a Chinese restaurant with my mum in Sydney, I would always order prawn toasts. Don't remember it ever coming with a sauce like this one does, but anyway, so yes, I was pretty happy. So this here, I'm just going to try and tilt these without spilling them all over myself. So this is the mix of white sesame seeds, black sesame seeds. For anyone that didn't know where to find black sesame seeds, Asian grocer. Thanks, Tess. I will be making lots of prawn toast because they come in a nice big packet. And then also panko breadcrumbs. So I really love the panko breadcrumbs. So I'm just going to pop this now straight.
We just can't quite see. Can you maybe angle your camera down a little bit?
Yeah, hang on a sec.
Sorry, honey.
That's okay.
That's better.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to literally flip that and place it into the seeds, and then we have a nice crusted piece of bread with a prawn flavour. To the other one. Now, for the purposes of being able to have this as a nice side with your Asian meals, what I'm going to do is, put that onto my knife. I'm just going to cut them diagonally in half. Then I'm going to cut it again. So one would think I was making fairy bread, which is exactly what it looks like, except with different seeds. And then we're going to pop them in some egg just to coat them, and then they're going to in the oil. So I will just chop this one.
So pretty simple, really. I mean, this is
Really
another
simple.
classic that you would order at a restaurant and not realize that you could make it so easily at home.
I would never, until I had a Thermomix. There are so many things. A bit like Lexi, have always loved cooking and consider myself to be quite a good cook. But some of the things that I now will cook that I would never have cooked before, my list is quite extensive. So I'm
And
really
how much fun is it, and cheaper as well, to travel around the world with our taste buds?
Oh, I know. And I mean, it's so much cheaper. And I mean, I've got customers that are, easily, depending on the size of their family, making some really big savings with their groceries at the moment. So that's always nice to get that satisfaction. So straight into I've got a saucepan of oil heating up here. I'll pop these in. So they can't see me. Let me just see. And so I'm just going to pop straight into the oil, and they're going to cook for about 2 minutes. I did find when I've done them before, you need to cook them a little bit longer if you like them crunchy, depending on how you like your toast things. Really is depending on how long you'll cook them for. But I will cook those up, and I think I'm back on at the end to show you what they look like.
Yes, and you have a very special dish to finish up on too.
I do.
Gee, I wonder what that could be.
We'll have to see.
We will. Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you.
I have two dogs. I have to show you this. They are literally, where are they? Standing here thinking that they are going to get something to eat, which clearly they're not. But I'm in the kitchen and they can smell food, so that must mean they're going to get fed.
That's it. All right, well, we'll come back to you. Thank you.
No worries.
And remove move spotlight, and it's over to me. Now I'm going to share with you how to make candied almonds. So had never made these before and chose to start making them at around about 6 o'clock tonight. Would have been bad luck if I had have stuffed them up, but that is the joy of Cookie Do, is that you can trust that these recipes have been triple tested by Thermomix chefs around the world and they are guaranteed to work. So I'm just going to try and share my screen and find what I'm looking for, which is, bear with me. Cookie Do. There we go. Can you all see my Cookie Do screen? I hope you can. Yes?
Yep, all good.
Awesome. Thank you. So candied almonds. I'm not going to make these live, but I'm going to talk to you about how to make them. They are super, super easy. Unfortunately, you can only make them with the TM6 version of the Thermomix because the TM6 version, aside from many other differences, can actually go to a much higher temperature than the TM5 and the TM31. So again, as Elise said earlier, it's a good idea to have a look at the hints and tips, and there aren't any. So this is super, super easy. Okay, so when you're using sugar stages, you need to really be sure that you are using exact ingredients. Okay, so make sure that you get your ingredients exactly right. And that's the joy of the TM6, is that the measurements are in 1 gram increments, as most of you will already know. So the recipe needs to be cooked immediately after placing the sugar in the other ingredients of the mixing bowl. And the reason for that is it starts to dissolve and it actually changes the chemical reaction of what's going on in the Thermomix. So you place the sugar in the water. From memory, it was 100 grams of caster sugar and 50 grams of water. And then you start the sugar stages. Now, with all recipes in the TM6, when you're using a guided recipe, it grabs the mode that it needs. So when you just press next, the sugar stages mode just comes up and you turn the dial and it goes into sugar stages. The thing that's unique and wonderful about it is that the blade moves sporadically throughout sugar stages and the high heat function. So yes, you do need your splash guard on top, and you know, within a matter of minutes, I think that was about 4 minutes. It wasn't long at all. Then you add the almonds and you literally just mix that for 35 seconds using reverse, and then transfer it into a plate, and that's it. Now, the next 2 steps are about cleaning your Thermomix, because you've obviously got that sugar set on your blades and everything. So it's just add some water and some vinegar and pop it on pre-clean, and there you have it, a clean Thermomix. So I'm just going to show you now, stop sharing, and show you what they look like. Candied almonds, super easy. This says it serves 3. I think it will last a bit longer than that in our house. So what do you think of that? That's just something a little bit different, and they'll be nice just to have on the bench to munch on when we're a bit hungry. They're really yummy. Okay, so next, cab off the rank, we have got, if she's ready, have I filled in enough time? Are you ready, Kaz, for your cocktail? If not, I might just go on and talk briefly. Oh, she's getting ready.
Yeah, I'm just
Briefly-
putting the last of the sesame toast in, but I'm
No.
pretty much ready to do it in the 2 secs.
No, you're right. I'll talk about host rewards because I did talk about it a little earlier. I'll just check the chat box. Can't wait to try prawn toast. Yep, super simple and cheap to make. Absolutely. No idea they were that easy. There you go. And this is why we like to showcase things on our cooking classes, where you can actually learn some new skills. Like if you haven't made dumplings before, you've learned that tonight. If you haven't made a cocktail before, who hasn't made a cocktail before? Come on. You're going to learn how to make a lychee cocktail, sorbet. It's really fantastic to be able to see. I don't know, I'm a visual learner. I need to see things. and to watch somebody else do it in front of me is really, really helpful. And I hope you will feel the same way. So I'm going to share my screen again. Have a look at this. If you have not heard, we have some amazing things on offer now as a host reward for hosting a demonstration. Now, when we say host a demonstration, people conjure up images of, oh my God, I've got to have a party. I've got to clean the house. That's going to take me a week. I've got to do all this shopping. I need to invite the whole street. No, it's much more simpler than that. Hosting a demonstration is just yourself and 2 friends, or 3 if you want to. We actually prefer it to be a smaller group of people because it's more intimate, and then everyone gets on hands-on experience. You get a chance to have a play with the Thermomix, and it's a chance for you as well as us to just showcase our passion for this amazing product. I mean, you're all on here tonight because you love your Thermomix. Why not share it with your friends and family and earn some host rewards? It's not about trying to get them to purchase, and we always say this to our customers, you never know who's going to purchase a Thermomix, but I can speak for all the consultants on here tonight. We just love prattling on about how awesome this machine is, and I think a lot of you do too, because you've said in your registration that you're a raving fan. So why not share that love and have some delicious dishes that you might not have tried before and earn one of these host rewards. As I said, the number 1 host reward, in my opinion, is the 2.6 litre thermoserver, and that's it there where my cursor is right now. And then we have the gorgeous 2.5 litre oval thermoserver, which is beautiful for presenting special dishes. It just looks really special on the table. You've got those black trays underneath. They act as a heat resistant, so you can put the dishes straight on wood, which is fantastic. Now, this oval one's really good for sausages as well when you have a barbecue. Then we've got this cute little white one. It's 2.2 litre capacity, and it's great for fitting in your jars, your little glass jars for making yogurt. This is new to the Host Reward catalogue, and it is a vacuum seal container. These are the bee's knees, and this is a large one. And you actually use the wand that comes with it, and you remove the air from inside the container so that what you've got in there lasts way longer. So we're all wanting to save money at the moment, and this is a great way that you can do it. You can't actually purchase this on the Mix Shop, so it is a host reward only. And as Elise said earlier, why not get a Cookie Dough subscription for free? So that is also an ongoing host reward now. Now, this next one is actually probably one of my favorites. Oh, sorry, I've actually said Cookie Dough, but that was for the blade cover peeler, and it comes with the cookbook. So that will peel your potatoes, your garlic, your beetroot, and it's also great for slow cooking and sous vide cooking. So blade cover peeler is an excellent addition. Then we have got these glider boards. They are fantastic, especially for short people like me who get a really sore back from lifting your Thermomix. If you don't know, you should not be dragging your Thermomix across the bench because the scales are actually in the feet. And if you drag it across the bench, you are potentially jeopardizing your weighing function, and you may need to get your scales recalibrated. So these glider boards save you that hassle of having to lift it. You can actually just lift the front section of it and move it and slide it across your bench to wherever you need it to be. So they're fantastic, and they are Cookie Dough subscription. And then we've got these beautiful 2 mats in demonstrations, and it's awesome. Save a lot of mess on your kitchen bench. And the last winner, everyone who has one always wants 2 or 3 of them. One for the caravan, one for the beautiful, beautiful, high quality German stainless steel accessories, and they come in this cute little case as well. So all of those are on offer as a host reward. I'm not going to go into how you earn them, but basically if you have a demonstration with 2 qualifying guests who come along, you will at the very minimum qualify for a heavily reduced post reward. If somebody does purchase a Thermomix from your event, you will actually get one of these for free. I love freebies, I have to say. All right, Kaz, I'm going to pass over to you now. And I need to stop sharing. There we go. You're on mute, honey.
There we go. Prawn toast all done.
Yum.
They smell divine. So that is all ready. You can also, if you didn't want to do them in the deep fry way, you can also just spray them with a little bit of oil or brush them with a little bit of oil and pop them in the air fryer. Okay, so to end the night, we're going to have a lychee sorbet cocktail. So given that it's a Monday night and given that it's 10 to 9, I have just done half of the recipe, half the quantity. I made my lychee syrup ice cubes yesterday, so I've got half of those here. So they were all ready to go. So I'm going to done all that. Done that. Okay, yep, so we're just going to move ahead. Okay, so we've got 30 grams of sugar. I'm just going to hope for the best that I get close to 30. I'm actually only going to put in 15. I'm glad I remembered that because otherwise it will be very sweet. In fact, that's probably.
Mary has asked about, has anyone tried to put the prawn toast in the air fryer? That's a good idea.
Well, when I was on mute, I was telling you all how you can brush them with oil and cook them for about 4 to 5 minutes in the air fryer. So yes, you can, Mary. Just doesn't help when I'm on mute. So yeah, great idea. Got some fresh mint. I don't think you can go wrong with lychee cocktails with some fresh mint. Says one sprig, but I'm putting all of that. I just went out and picked that earlier. Okay, then I'm going to just chop that up very quickly. Milling.
There's that magic Thermomix again. It's gone silent.
Okay, now the lychee fruit, I actually dropped an ice cube in there before, so it's not quite drained, but I will just show you how that is like completely milled in that short time frame. So really, really, you'd never chop it that fine with your sugar and stuff. So that's one of the things that I absolutely love is just the speed and the efficiency of this. I'm going to pop in my lychee fruit. I'm going to put in my ice cubes. Out of the way. Then I'm going to put my cap on.
I love all the greenery
So apart from
in
the
your
fact,
kitchen, Kaz. Beautiful plants.
I know, actually, yeah, they've come up really well. Apart from the fact of doing the ice cubes, like this is now basically ready. So I'm not going to put the whole bottle of sparkling in. I'm just going to put in about half of that. Half of the half, I should say.
You'll sleep well tonight.
Oh, I'm really struggling today, so I hope so. Knock myself out, I say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just a gentle mix. Now, it says to pour it into a champagne flute, which I will do. But to be honest, I think probably this particular one, normally I would probably serve this in a cocktail glass. But, you know, the champagne flute was out. So I'm just going to pour that into the glass. It smells amazing. It's really sludgy. Really sludgy and like slushy type. And then just pop a couple of fresh raspberries on the top. And cheers.
Oh, cheers. That looks beautiful. Perfect for a hot Melbourne night.
100%. 100%.
Oh,
So I
fantastic.
have to say that cocktails So easy. I think when Jenny's not on the call tonight, but when I got my Thermomix, it was Christmas Eve when I got it last year, the one before last. And my second thing that I made was an espresso martini. And
I've still never had one of those.
oh my goodness. Yeah, no,
I know Elise is
amazing.
disgusted in me. Look at her face.
I don't know how you could not have had one. And for those of us that have got cookie dough, you'll get your, what you've cooked the most throughout the year. Very sad that espresso martini's up there on my list of the things I've cooked the most of this year. But anyway, I hope that was of some inspiration. And hope everyone had a bit of fun and look forward to our next session.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kaz. We're going to do a quick ring around now and have a look at everyone's finished dishes. But first of all, we'll go to Elise and we are going to have a look at what she's done with her dumplings.
Yes, we are. So I may have been just casually eating here in the background, but I did cook up some of these dumplings. So again, I pan fried them. And then I added about a quarter of a cup of water, lid on in the pot, let them steam up, and then I let all of that water evaporate, and then just let them continue to crisp up, and they are absolutely delicious. So before I really quickly move on, I will just say I have done a little bit of cleaning up, the mess I made, because I may have spilt salt and pepper all over my kitchen bench. But you may have seen this one before. This is a bit of a boring one because this is our standard white mini back, and we may have just announced a limited edition black mini back, which is going to be a gift with purchase for customers that purchase from the 15th of February onwards, up until the 29th. So if you or anybody that you know is interested in upgrading to a TM6 or getting a TM6 on their bench, that will be a gift with purchase. We, of course, have our vacuum seal containers on at the moment, but my black one is in the caravan, so I'm not getting it out, but the black is absolutely beautiful. If you have a nice black sleek kitchen, it will look amazing. And honestly, these things are just the best. Even the kids do the cleaning with this, and that is saying something. So that's
a very generous gift with purchase because they're worth about $299, I believe. Yeah. Very generous freebie.
So if you've been, holding on and going, okay, what do I wait for? Trust me, clean up with that thing. I love it.
Awesome. Fantastic. Cool. Thanks, Elise. All right, Lexi, are you ready to present? Oh, I've lost you. Where did you go? Hang on. I'll just spotlight you. There we go.
Here we go.
Oh, yum.
That's my fried rice. I just had a little cheeky taste and it's delicious. I did pop through a little bit of fish sauce while it was mixing or sauteing at the end. But it's super pretty. It's got the red and the green. You could almost have it at Christmas time, really. And that will go in the fridge now for dinner tomorrow night.
How perfect too. If you would put that in when it's piping hot and then throw in some prawns, they would cook. Yeah. And stir them through.
And be delicious.
Fantastic. Love that thermo server. Thank you so much, Lexi.
Thank you.
Next, we are going to, who are we going to? Where are we? Hang on. Erin, where are you?
I'm here.
Yeah, I can't see you.
I'm here. I'm here.
I'm sure you are. Remove spotlight. There we go. Oh, there you are.
There I am.
There's too many people on tonight. There we go.
Hello. So mine is actually still cooking. I did stop. It stopped about 5 minutes ago, and I just stirred it. It's now basically thickening the sauce. I'm just going to stop it for a sec. We're going to wait 20 seconds while it cools down quickly, and I can show you what it looks like in the bowl at the moment. It smells amazing. It smells really good, I must say.
And this is your
at the
lunch?
moment, this will be my lunch because I'm the only one in the house that can now eat it because I used the proper cooking wine and not the gluten-free stuff.
You're very smart.
That
would go beautifully with Lexi's fried rice.
It would. Rice, and I've got some Asian greens I'm going to put with it as well.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. I'm just going to finish it. It's got 6 minutes left, so I was going to let that finish.
Awesome. Brilliant. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed tonight. We certainly have absolutely loved bringing this class to you. It's just a class that we came up with, and I have to give Cass Day some of the credit because she inspired many of the recipes that we have made. If you are interested at all in learning a bit more about joining the business, please stay on. Elise is going to run a business information session. Takes about 20 minutes. Very relaxed, very cash, and like I said, no obligation at all. I will be emailing you the recipes as well as the recording from tonight and anything else I can think of. Oh, that's right. Sorry, we do have a class coming up. Sorry, the next class we are doing will be run by all the team leaders in Elise's branch. And well, not all of them, maybe a few of them, and it's going to be on the 5th of March. Did you want to talk a little bit more about that, Elise?
Yeah, absolutely. So, thanks, Tess. So for those that are interested in finding out about the business, stay on after we finish. I'll give it a couple of minutes before I, kick into it, just to make sure no one's fallen asleep and it's just, holding on and waiting. Otherwise, I do have another session running tomorrow night. So if you can't hold on tonight, let us know, let your consultant know, and we can jump on tomorrow night with you. But our next class, we were having a bit of a chat this morning about what do our customers want to see, and we're kind of tossing up between, do we want Easter stuff, or do we want meals in a flash, or do we want super, super cheap eats? So let us know what you would like. I've popped the link in there now so that you can register already, because like tonight, we actually had a booked out class tonight, and we expect that this one will be the same as well. So pre-register now. That way you've at least got your spot there, and as we decide on exactly what we want and what you guys want, then we will update the class from there. But please send us your feedback, and by doing that, by registering tonight, I do have one of our dumpling molds to give away. So we'll do a little bit of a random draw based on the registrations that you guys pop through. So thank you very much for tonight, Tess and team. Well done. Always fabulous. Thank you for having me cooking tonight. It's nice to be doing something a little bit different. But over to you, Tess.
Thank you very much, Elise, and thank you everyone, all my girls. We have a lot of fun. If you want to learn a bit more about what we do and how we do it, and just stay on. We'd love to see you. Now it looks like cheap eats is definitely the flavour here, Elise.
I'm thinking so.
Yeah. Yep. Everyone's trying to save a few bucks here and there. Meals in a flash. All right. Thanks, Nick. Good to see you. Cheap meals. Oh my gosh. Yep. It's the winner.
I think we've just made our decision. Easy.
Yeah. Too easy. All right. For those of you who are jumping off, thank you all very much. We've loved being in your lounge rooms tonight, and we hope to see you again very soon. I feel like I should play some music or something.
Would you like me to sing? I mean, it might
stop
anyone actually wanting to join us, but
oh, come on. I'm just going to get some water because I'm parched.
No dramas at all. So I'll give it a couple of minutes, and then if you are keen on finding out, please stay on. If not, thank you for joining us tonight. I am going to stop the recording though.